Bill Belichick, he's throwing verbal bouquets. What do you make of that?
Doesn't it seem like Bill Belichick just got out of a relationship with a very controlling partner? You know, one of those partners that is like, hey, no, you can't wear this. I don't want you going out here. You bet not say something about this. Because think about the way that he spoke about Cam Newton and saying all the things that Cam Newton has brought to this team and brought to this organization in training camp. We didn't hear those type of things even about Tom Brady sometimes. And now look at the way that he's speaking about Russell Wilson. I mean, this new nice Bill, he's kind of a revelation, but he ain't wrong. When you look at Russell Wilson and what Russell Wilson has brought to this game, the way he's carried this team since getting his contract, Russell Wilson every year is a guy we speak about in the MVP conversation. It's because of what he can do with his arm, what he can do with his legs, and his leadership skill. And that was all on display this last Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. Listen, I kept hearing, let Russ cook, let Russ cook. Well, Russ is cooking, he's baking, he's even serving the plates for the Seattle Seahawks, and he's done that for an extremely long time. And so I know Pat said, you know, they fist bump and talk about wait till they see what we got with your big tail, Cam Newton. But Cam Newton's going to face a different beast on the other side too. So he better come ready to bring it, because Russell Wilson is one of the premier players in this league. And I believe if you ask teams, where would you start your team in the league right now this year? Patrick Mahomes would be first, but I believe that Russell Wilson will be the second name called by many executives.
I agree with that. But Pat McAfee, what do you make of Belichick? This is not the Bill Belichick that we have generally been used to.
Well, I think much to RC saying he got out of a relationship. I don't know if it was with somebody controlling, but maybe he's like, hey, let's get out of our routine. Let's do things a little bit differently. Maybe after 20 years of success, 6 Super Bowls, 9 Super Bowl trips, I can enjoy myself a little bit. But this is classic wrestling heel promotion, okay, promo. You have to build up who you're playing, because if you beat them and you knock them down, who'd you beat? You beat a nobody. But if you build up who the person is and you beat them, who'd you beat? You beat somebody who was great. But at this point, Bill Belichick is also the most due diligent coach I think we've ever seen. Film study, everybody talks about. He's the first guy in, last guy out. He watches 14 hours. And Hembo sent me a stat this weekend that I assume Bill Belichick also saw. 40% of Russell Wilson's yardage goes to undrafted players. So it doesn't matter who's on the field with Russell Wilson. It doesn't matter who they're playing. No names, some names, Ty Lockett, nobody else you know. Russell Wilson is always in the game, and it makes no sense. And I don't know how people feel about him off the field. They might say he's a little corny. They might say this. But anytime he gets on the field, they have a chance, strictly because of the way he wills his team to victory, and he can throw the ball all over the yard. Metcalf is a stud. Ty Lockett's great. I think they're getting Josh Gordon back as well. The defense is always going to be the defense, and I think the media and fans don't get to see Russell as much. That's why we don't respect him as much. But once you start looking at the numbers, that dude is legit, and he plays for the Yankees. So that has to be talked about.
We will see him coming up on Sunday night on national TV. Diana, to go back to the relationship analogies, we thought it was Brady who wanted to sort of get into something that would be a little friendlier and all that. And now he's getting yelled at by his coach in Tampa. And here's Bill, who seems to have changed his perspective. What's going on here?
Can we stop with this Bill Belichick is changing? This isn't anything different. I've sat in dozens, maybe hundreds of those press conferences, and it's the same formula every week. Bill picks out the player on the other team that's either underrated or the superstar. He'll go either way, and he just spends all the time filling the air and using the time allotted for the coach press conference to talk and play up the competitor, just like Pat mentioned, because you don't want to lose to somebody that isn't good, so he's going to talk them up. But he's also eating up the time in the press conference, so we don't have to ask him questions about his own team. It's Bill Belichick, something he's been doing for years, for 30 years at least. So to me, that didn't surprise me. In fact, I rolled my eyes when I read it. But I do think he's got tons of respect for him, for Russell Wilson, because they've gone up against each other 3 times. Russ has won 2 out of the 3 times. It really should be 3 out of 3 at this point. So I don't question Bill Belichick's respect for Russell Wilson. I do think he thinks he's underrated because he's not getting that attention, because he's considered a small quarterback. But in the end, this is what Bill does. Nothing's changed.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.